Hello students, in today's video of quality engineering unit number 2, quality engineering and management tools, techniques and standard, lecture number 5, we will see regarding the topics of the 7 new quality tools part 3, that is matrix data analysis, arrow diagram and PDP chart, that is process decision program chart. Previous to that, in our previous video we have seen affinity diagram, relation diagram, tree diagram and matrix diagram. All those 4 diagrams were related to the you can say the quality check tools. Now here we will see the matrix data analysis, arrow diagram and the process decision program chart. What are they and how they play an important role in the quality management or the quality tools. Now matrix data analysis, it is very much similar to matrix diagram with a difference that numerical data is used instead of symbolic, indicate the existence and strength of relationship. It uses numerical data to produce numerical result. So here the numerical data are used to produce the numerical result. Now what are the advantage of the matrix data analysis? First, can be used in various field, that is market survey, new product planning, process analysis, etc. Can be used when matrix diagram does not give sufficient information. So this is, you can say, the advanced version of the matrix diagram which is used to get the numerical data or numerical results of a particular thing. Useful as prioritizations grid. So in any complicated situation, it shows or it helps the prioritization of particular thing. Now how to construct a matrix data analysis? First of all, determine your goal, your alternatives and criteria for decision. So when you are going for a quality check, you must be aware of what the final objective or what is your goal of obtaining through the product or through this quality check tools. So determine your goal, place selection in order of importance, that what is how in which sequence and which order you require the particular thing. Apply percentage weight to each option. All weights should add up to 1. That percentage weight means this is having the weightage of say 20%, that is particular thing is having the weightage of 30%, that is having the weightage of 5%, that is having the weightage of 3%, depending on the weightage. Some individual ratings to establish overall ranking, that divide by numbers of options of average ranking. It means sum the individual ratings to establish overall ranking. So summarize or add all the individual rating so that we can get an overall ranking of the particular thing, and then divide the total ranking so that we get the average ranking. Rank order each opinion with respect to criterion, average the ranking and apply a completed ranking. Now after identifying or finding the ranking, arrange the ranks or the activities in the order with respect to criterion, depending on the criteria. Now average the ranking and apply a completed ranking system. Multiply weight by associated rank in matrix. In example, 4 is best, 1 is worst. So depending on the ranking, the lower the ranking is worst the thing, higher the ranking is good the thing. So depending on that, you have to multiply the weightage by the associated rank. result is important source. So depending on the ranking and weightage, when we multiply the rank and weight, whatever the value we get, that is the result, and depending on that we have to select the priority. Add up importance scores for each option. So for each option you add some important score, and here you can see this is how the matrix data analysis diagram is working. Now on the left corner, the customer requirement functions: make marks, remove marks, prevent smuts, support lead, improve appearance, accommodate grip, column weight, mechanical weight, mechanical targeted cost, and mechanical actual cost. Depending upon the importance, these are the percentage wise, that is ranking the weightage: 30%, 20%, 50%, 5%, 10%, 20%, right? Depending on that, lead, what are the leads, erasers, body, paint, bend, this is the mechanism, right? So by plotting these values in this chart, you can see here the strong correction weight factor is 5, moderate correlation factor is 3, and weak correlation weight factor is 1. So what these values are, the you can say weight or the value of a particular product, that what it is weight, what is the cost per weight, and the actual cost that we are going to find it out. So by multiplying this, now here if you compare this chart with the matrix chart, so here we are getting the final numerical values, or you can say the resulted values. So this is how the matrix chart differs from the, or matrix data analysis diagram differs from the matrix chart. So here we get the exact value of the particular thing. The sixth one is arrow diagram. The arrow diagram shows the required order of task in a project or process, the best schedule for the entire project, and the potential schedule and resources problem and their solution. In arrow diagram, it shows the proper pathway that a particular product should go in this direction. The arrow diagram let you calculate the critical path or the project. Sometimes what happens in manufacturing, after drilling, the reaming process is to be done, but until reaming process is done, until drilling is done, reaming process will not be taken place. Meanwhile we can go for the turning. So depending on the operations and depending on the ideal time, that is a kind of time chart, you can say CPM and PERT, as we have studied in our industrial engineering. So the arrow diagram lets you calculate the critical path of the project. This is the flow of critical step where delays will affect the timing of the entire project and where additions of resources can speed up the project. So this is where you can find out the optimum path for your production. Now what is the advantages of the arrow diagram? Allows overall task to viewed and potential snags to be identified before work starts. So before you start the work, it identifies the path, it identifies the task, it identifies the potential snags. It also identifies the time to be taken to complete the production line. Second, leads to discovery of possible improvement. The third is makes it easy to monitor progress of work. So you can say it easily monitor the progress of work, whatever the work is being done. Suppose you are going to manufacture a gear. So first of all you will take the workpiece. Thereafter the workpiece will be turned. Thereafter it will be mounted on the milling machine, and after milling operations, forming the teeth, there will be a center hole, and after forming the center hole there will be a keyhole, and after forming a keyhole there will be a grub screw hole. So entire activity or entire process is being monitored with the help of arrow diagram. Deals promptly with changes to the plan. Very rarely in arrow diagram, the changes in the plan is very restricted. You cannot change the plan very promptly. Improves communication among the team. It promotes understanding and agreements among the group. So these are the advantages of the arrow diagram. It improves the communication among the team and also improves the or promote the understanding and agreement among the group, because the reason behind that, one another, each every all are interrelated to each other in an arrow diagram. So that is why they all are interrelated. Now here you can see how we can construct an arrow diagram. First of all, from strategies on tree diagram, select one objective of arrow diagram. So again, the strategy of a tree diagram is helpful here. So in a tree diagram we have seen the example of a customer satisfaction. Example for the customer satisfaction: good environment, good service, and good quality food. And for that what we need required, the three more parameters were there. So in arrow diagram similarly, select any one objective for the arrow diagram. Identify constraint to the objective. Now find out what are the constraint or limitations or the restriction factors for the objective. Again I'll repeat, I'll try to give you the same example. If our objective is to serve customer satisfaction, then you can say we have to find out what are the constraint or limitations which restrict our objective is customer satisfaction. Third, list all activities necessary to achieving objective. So you have to list down all the activities which are necessary or required for achieving the objective. Once again I will repeat, our objective means the customer satisfaction, or increasing the sales, or increasing the production, etc. Write all essential activities on separate card. So whatever the essential activities are there to achieve the objective, you have to write it on a separate card. Organize card in a sequential order of the activities. So depending on the sequence of the activity, activity number 1, activity number 2, activity number 3, activity number 4, depending on the sequence, arrange the sequential order of the activity. Remove any duplicate activity. If there is any the duplication of the process, that after once we are going for the drilling operation, then going for the turning operation, and then again coming for the drilling operation, so that we have to eliminate. All the drilling operations should be done at a time on the component. Review order activities, find sequence with greatest amount of activities. So review the order of activities, find the sequences with greatest amount of activities. Arrange parallel activities. Whatever the activities are there, arrange them in a parallel manner, and examine path, number, nodes in sequence from left to right. Record the names and other necessary informations and complete the diagram. So here this is the, you can say, the example of an arrow diagram. So here you can see this is the activity number 1, activity number 2, 3, activity number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Now all these activities are not similar. Some activities are going parallel. You can say activity number 4, 3 and 2. Activity number 2 and 4 are in parallel. Activity number 3 and 5 are parallel. Activity 7 and 6 are parallel, and activity 8 is common, and then 9. So this is similar to that what we were studying in CPM and PERT. So this you can say the arrow diagram. One thing, in an arrow diagram there is no reverse activity, only it moves in forward or left or right. There is no reverse motion in this. By this you also can find out the critical path of your production line. So this is how an arrow diagram plays an important role as one of the new 7 quality tools. Now the 7th one, that is process decision program chart. This is very important chart. The process decision program chart systematically identifies what might go wrong in a plan under development. Countermeasures are developed to prevent or offset those problems. So process decision program chart, it systematically identifies that whether there is something going to be wrong under the planning or something has been gone wrong. So it will be countermeasured or it will be recorrected and prevent or offset those problems. By using PDP chart, it is also termed as PDP chart, it can either revise the plan to avoid the problem or be ready with the best response when a problem occurs. So now what are the advantage of PDPC chart? That is, facilitates forecasting. What do you mean by facilitation of forecasting? It gives the information of the future, uses past to anticipate contingencies. So it uses the past anticipate or the past factors to correct the future one. Enables problem to pinpointed. It find out the problem or enable the problem or enable to pinpoint the problems. Illustrates how events will be directed to successful conclusion. Enables those involved to understand decision makers' intention. It also helps to understand the decision makers' intention. Fosters cooperations and communication in the group. If you see the 7 all above quality tools, the one thing common which we find in all this was the cooperation and the improvement in the communication in the group or in the colleagues. Easily modified and easily understood. So this can be easily modified and it also can be easily understandable. So this is the advantage of the PDP chart. Now how to construct this PDP chart? Select a highly effective but difficult strategy from the tree diagram. Again, you can say the tree diagram is mother of all. You identify, tree diagram means we all know that when we are running an organization, there are lots of activities to be done. So a single person cannot look after all the activities. So he has to distribute these activities in the downstream. So when the activities are distributed in the downstream, it is automatically understood as a tree diagram. So all the organization has the tree diagram. Select a highly effective but difficult strategies from the tree diagram. Decide on a goal, that is most desirable outcome. What do you want? That you have to decide it and work on that. identify existing situation. What is the existing situation? Starting point, identify it. Identify constraint of the objective. List activities to reach goal and potential problems with each activity. It means you have to list out the activities to reach the goal and potential problems with each activity. Review list. Add extra activities or the problems not thought of previously. Prepare contingency plan for each step and review what action is needed if step is not achieved. Means review the thing and identify that what steps should be taken if a particular thing is not achieved, then what should be the step to be taken later on. Examine carefully to check for inconsistencies and all important factors are included. Examine to make sure all contingency plans are adequate and complete the chart. So if you see the construction of a PDP chart, it shows that after selecting a particular problem, if you get the exact output, then it's okay. But if you are not getting the exact output, you have to again review the things, that why particular thing has happened and what is the reason for uh, happening of the particular thing. So that is why the PDP chart is an important parameter, we can say, in the quality tool. Now if you see this chart here, now you can see improve system reliability. So our objective is to improve the system reliability. Now how to improve the system reliability? So there are three different parameters. You can say error prone program changes, invalid data, system software crashes. Now if we want to improve the reliability of a particular system, we should avoid the system crash, or we should separate out the invalid data, and we also has to error or prone program changes. And for that, you can say error prone program changes, you can say inspect, design and code. So for any prone or program change, you have to inspect the designs and its coding. For invalid data, bulletproof the interfaces. So it is, you can say, this PC chart is for the computer software, that how we can improve the system reliability. For that, in order to stop the invalid data, we have to bulletproof the interfaces. So whatever the interfacing are being taken, it should not allow the invalid data to go through. And system software crashes, that is, develops recovery procedures. Once the system gets crashed, so what is the solution if system get crashed? There should be an option of recovery. So once we are available of recovering, then the system software crashes. If it crashes, that it will not affect the thing. So by looking to this, you can see this was the objective, these are the constraint, and these are its remedies. So it is similar to all the PDP chart, or it is similar to all many of the 7 quality tools. Now friends, one thing I would like to tell you all, that the old 7 quality tools and the new 7 quality tools, these are the new 7 quality tools, you can say they are also a part of I 4.0, that is industry 4.0, which is nowadays in the discussion, and many industries are going to implement it, the fourth era of the industry development, or in the fourth revolution of industry. So these are the very important points, or important 7 quality tools. They are important from the exam point of view also. So go through it properly. Uh, Thank you very much for watching this video. I request you all to subscribe our channel ssit.gandhinagar. Thank you very much.